Well, you're here because you filled out a survey about a guy, and there's sobering news. His grade is D. With this guy, it's best to stay away. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He is more likely to talk big than actually go far in his career. He enjoys making his presence felt and may speak very confidently, sometimes even aggressively. But when it comes to putting in the hard work needed for real success, he tends to fall short.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he is more likely to lose his cool or get very upset. Rather than calmly bouncing back, he might yell, blame others loudly, or become very frustrated over even minor problems. This can make bad situations even worse.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
People at work probably find him difficult to deal with and may often avoid him. He tends to speak his mind without thinking about others' feelings and can be quick to argue or get angry, so conflicts tend to follow him around. Instead of building a team or making friends, he might end up fighting or clashing with coworkers.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your career, he might have mixed feelings. On one hand, he will show excitement and could act happy for you, but deep down, he may feel challenged or a bit threatened by your success. He wants to appear supportive, but his pride can struggle when someone close to him shines brighter.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you earn more than him, he is likely to feel uneasy and may resent it over time. He might not always say it openly, but his actions can show his discomfort, like making sharp remarks, picking fights about small things, or trying to prove himself in other ways. Instead of sharing happiness for your success, he may pull away or act out when feeling left behind.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He tends to handle money with caution and likes things to be in order, so he's not someone who spends without thinking. He prefers planning and sticking to a routine, which means he's likely to keep track of his expenses and avoid careless shopping. You won't often catch him wasting money on sudden treats or risky purchases.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He usually lives within his means and doesn't go out of his way to show off or pretend to be wealthier than he is. He likes having control and sticking to routines, so he makes sure not to overspend or get into financial trouble just for appearances. While he might talk big or try to prove a point in an argument, he's not the kind to buy expensive things just for show.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He is not stingy, but he isn't the most generous either. He cares about people and can be kind in ways that matter, especially when someone needs real help. However, he's careful about money and won't spend just to make others happy or to look good.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He tends to be open about money matters, but in a straightforward and sometimes blunt way. He likes things to be clear and organized, so he's not one to hide bills or keep secrets about spending. Sometimes his honesty can feel a bit too direct, and he may get upset if plans don't go his way.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He is likely to believe that housework should be done in an organized way, and he may expect you to handle most of it by default. While he cares about family comfort and may help if asked, he prefers things done his way and can be bossy about how chores should be done. He's not the type to jump in automatically or share every task equally, and he may make strict rules about cleanliness and order.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He's more likely to help by watching over you and telling you how things should be done rather than actually doing the chores or changing diapers himself. He wants things to be tidy and done right, but instead of rolling up his sleeves, he might stand nearby and give instructions or correct you if he thinks something isn't perfect. You may find yourself doing most of the work while he supervises and offers advice.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He's more likely to argue to prove he's right than to truly listen and understand your side. When there's a disagreement, his first reaction is often to defend his point or correct you, rather than calmly hearing you out. If the conversation gets heated, he may raise his voice or use sharp words.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he often struggles to stay respectful. He can lose his temper quickly and may say things that are harsh or hurtful, sometimes raising his voice or speaking very sharply. His anger shows up fast and can make you feel small or attacked, even if he cools down later.
Does he have a bad temper?
Yes, he's the kind of man who gets angry very quickly. His temper can flare up over small issues, and it doesn't take much to set him off. It's important to pay attention to this behavior now rather than ignore it and regret it later.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He finds it hard to say sorry and take responsibility when things go wrong. Most of the time, he will try to justify his actions or find a way to blame you or someone else instead of admitting his own mistakes. This kind of attitude can make small problems bigger and stop you both from truly moving on after a fight.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He may struggle to fully respect your boundaries, especially when he feels strongly about something. If you say no or set a limit, he might try to change your mind through arguments, pressure, or even by ignoring your wishes at times. This isn't just about small things, it can affect trust and safety in the relationship.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, he is likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. He can get upset or even argue about it, thinking it means something is wrong with him or the relationship. This can put a lot of pressure on you and lead to tension.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
You need to be cautious with him when it comes to private moments. He has a temper and sometimes uses sharp words during fights, which means he might bring up private or intimate details just to hurt or embarrass you in anger. That's something very important to consider before you share your whole self.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is not someone who is easily distracted by other women. His attention tends to stay where he feels a sense of order and control. While he does enjoy being around people and likes excitement, he prefers predictability in his personal life. Cheating isn't his usual style as he values routines and structure.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
Yes, he can be quite overpossessive. He likes to feel in control and may become jealous or suspicious easily, especially if something doesn't go his way. This kind of behavior can feel suffocating and isn't healthy in the long run.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
Yes, with him, what looks like being protective is often just controlling behavior in disguise. He may say he's looking out for you, but really he wants things done his way and struggles to give you space. Instead of making you feel safe, his actions might make you feel watched or restricted.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He's likely to expect you to do most of the parenting work, even though he'll want things done his way. He sees himself as the one in charge, giving instructions or stepping in only when he feels something isn't right. If you're hoping for a true teammate in raising kids, you'll likely find yourself carrying most of the load.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he is likely to lose his temper rather than stay calm. Small mistakes or emotional outbursts can set him off, and he might raise his voice, scold sharply, or even say things that hurt their feelings. The kids might learn to hide their problems just to avoid his anger.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He will probably expect you to focus mainly on being a mother and may not fully support your wishes to have your own life outside of family duties. He likes having things organized and under control, often on his own terms, so he might not understand or encourage your need for personal time, work, or hobbies. You may often feel pressured to let go of your own dreams and desires to keep the peace at home.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, he's the kind of man who might support your career in the beginning, but could later expect you to quit once you have a child. He believes in clear roles and having control over the household, which may lead him to push you toward focusing only on family after kids enter the picture. If having your own career is important, be very clear about your plans now because his support may not last when priorities shift.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He is not naturally warm or gentle with others, even family. While he may act polite on the surface and follow the usual customs, his words or tone can come across as blunt or even disrespectful at times. He is unlikely to go out of his way to make your parents feel truly welcome or loved. He is much more likely to expect your family to adjust to his ways than to make big changes for theirs.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he is very likely to make things worse with his reactions. He doesn't have much patience for outside interference and can get angry or speak harshly if he feels challenged or disrespected. You may find yourself caught in the middle, trying to keep the peace while he adds fuel to the fire.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he is likely the kind of man who may act modern and open minded with you in private, but then expect you to behave like a traditional supportive wife in front of his relatives. He wants things to look perfect and orderly, especially when others are watching. So he may suddenly insist on you following family customs, dressing a certain way, or showing extra respect to elders. You might end up feeling like you're living two different lives just to keep him and his relatives happy.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension between you and his family, he is more likely to stay out of it or quietly side with them rather than strongly support you. He values order and his family's ways, so when there's a disagreement, he may expect you to adjust or keep quiet to avoid conflict. You'll need to be prepared to handle such stress mostly on your own.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He is very likely to be a mummy's boy, meaning his mother's opinions and wishes carry a lot of weight for him. In a conflict between you and his mother, he will almost always lean toward her side or try to stay neutral instead of fully supporting you. This can make you feel unsupported and alone in family issues.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
Yes, he is very likely to share the details of your fights or private matters with his mother or sister, especially if he feels upset or needs support. He may not see this as a problem and might even expect you to be okay with his family knowing about your personal issues. In the long run, this can create distance and hurt feelings.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Overall, based on all we know, this guy scores a D. I think it's just best to stay away. Being in a relationship with this man, day in and day out, can feel like walking on eggshells. He runs the home with strict rules and expects things done his way. So you may find yourself constantly checking if everything meets his standards.